Good evening, and welcome to the GENE-IUS Football Show on newstarradio.com and Breakthrough TV on YouTube. My name's Gene Sylvester, otherwise known as GENE-IUS, and I have my brother from another mother, as always, with me, Mr. Wayne Calder. What's good, Wayne?
Good evening, Gene. Good evening, people. Good evening, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff to everybody, to all our listeners. Wayne, how was your Christmas and your New Year's, man?
Well, as you probably know, I'm not a big Christmas fan. I'm more about the principles of Kwanzaa. So it's very much about what can I do as a family of the 7 days from Christmas to New Year's. Setting goals for the year, working with the children in terms of goal setting for them and what can they achieve in the next 12 months, and making sure we review those positions month by month to make sure you're keeping on track. Cooked Sunday dinner from scratch. Nice. Jerk minted lamb. Nice. Leg of lamb.
Nice.
Honey.
Excellent.
Honey glazed salmon. Roast chicken.
Go on.
All from scratch.
The works.
The full works.
Nice.
And my wife was like, yes, Fayon, talking to you. Not even, yes, it tastes nice or not. I had to wait for the kids to tell me how nice it tastes. But anyway, enough of that.
Yeah, we're not even in the domestics onto the show, man. Yeah, we don't need the domestics onto the show.
Nah, it's all good, man. I just think it's a time for us to reflect, spend time with family, spend time with quality time with people that are close to us, and also not remembering those that we've lost.
No doubt. And I think that's it for us. I think we bought presents for the children. We didn't buy, firstly, we not bought presents for like adults as well, bought presents for the children. For me, my gift is being around my loved ones. Do you know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that throughout the year, as the year goes by and you're in the rat race, it's difficult to actually have that quality time to sit down for a few days with each other and, you know, be merry, drink a juice, you know what I mean, eat a food and all that good stuff. So, yeah, it was a lot of that. I mean, yeah, you sound like you worked hard in the kitchen. My remit in the kitchen was just wash dishes. Wash dishes and utensils. So throughout the day I was kind of doing all of that. And then Boxing Day I had my sister's birthday party at my house. So that was another big celebration. Again, bring more people together as well. More people came up from London, more of the family members. So yeah, it was a nice. And then New Year's was just about the chill, which you said earlier on is, doesn't sound like my kind of New Year's usually.
Nope. Because my chill and your chill is different.
Yeah. But no, I was chilling. In fact, I put something on my Instagram story about, it's one a comedian, and he said me sorting out my New Year's Eve outfit, and he put like what looked like a pair of trousers on a hanger on the door, and he like brushed it down, and then a top that looked like a t-shirt or something, and he brushed it down. Then the third thing he put on the hanger was the his dressing gown. Then my New Year's outfit, and he's like making all the sleeves, getting all excited. That was me. Yeah, it was a nice chilled one for New Year's. Obviously we've been off the air as well, guys, for the last couple of weeks during the season. Also, just listen, I had to prioritise buying presents over coming on the show, and decorating the house over coming on the show. And ferrying people around over coming on the show. So hence why the show hasn't been going over the last couple of weeks. And there's been a hell of a lot of football over the last couple of weeks. A hell of a lot of goings on. I mean, 2 managerial casualties.
So far,
yeah. And well, we'll talk about it. Let's talk about the Amorim situation first. Obviously, that's fresh off the press. News broke this morning that Amorim's been sacked by Manchester United. It was following their 1-1 draw with Leeds yesterday. Now, me personally, that game, I knew that was going to be a tricky game for Man United. Looking at what Leeds did, against Liverpool the week before, I was at Anfield for that game. It was a 0-0. But you can see Leeds' quality now. You can see they're resilient now, defensively, very resilient. Going forward, they carry a threat now as well. And so for me, it was always going to be a tricky match for Man United. They came away with a point. Obviously, after Cunha rescued a point for them with a goal following Aronson's opener. Aronson is a player to watch.
Oh,
yeah.
He was a player to watch from the first time he got there.
Yeah, he was.
But you know what it is? There's this narrative with American players that American players can't play football.
Yeah.
He can play football.
Yeah, very.
And he's quick.
Yes.
He's got that kind of twitch reflex.
Yeah.
Not quite Doku twitch.
No.
But he's got that kind of turn of pace,
That's right.
that twitch and go.
Turn of direction as well. Do you know what I mean? Quick change of direction. And like you say, he kind of plays. He doesn't hug the touchline. He kind of plays just slightly inside. Which means he can go either way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he'll take you either outside or he'll take you inside. If he takes you outside, he's happy to whip in a left front footed cross. Comes inside, he's happy to dink one in. Very, very special player against Liverpool when they. I wasn't there for the Leeds game. I'm lying. That was the. Oh no, it was a 3-0 at Elland Road, wasn't it? When he came on later on in the game, and he changed the game as far as I was concerned. He's the one that really, even though he didn't score the goals, he changed the game when he came on. So yeah, so obviously Man United come away with a point there. It's funny. Did you see the press conference prior to the game?
No, so the press conference after.
After, okay, yeah. I think we all saw that one. The one prior to the game was really interesting because all of the kind of the journalists that were asking the question are all asking about this Leeds atmosphere and the derby and big rivalry and this, that, the other. And Amram was as they do, try to play it down, but they kept going back to this. And I thought to myself, poor Amram, man, he's never been manager in a Leeds Man United derby, so of course he can't really talk on it. They were trying to compare it to Benfica versus Porto derby in Portugal, and he's like, well, different culture, so again, it's not really comparable. But in that press conference, he looked a little bit narky. He didn't look his usual self. He wasn't as smiley as usual. He looked like he was. Yeah, he just looked like he was a little bit on edge. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously fast forward to the press conference yesterday after the game, and then it's funny because for the whole press conference, I thought pretty standard press conference. Then somebody asked a question. I can't remember if the question was specifically about his position or not, but he clearly wanted to let everyone know what his position was.
No, what he thought his position was.
What he thought his position was. Yeah. I am the manager. I didn't come here to be a coach. I came here to be the manager. Now, I looked to see if there was anything prior where that had been questioned about his actual title. Because at the end of the day, it's a title, right, we're talking about. We understand that obviously a manager's role is much more involved. That's right, I think he started talking about, the tactics, and then he even made a slight at the director of football, Jason Wilcox, by saying, the director of football does his job, I do my job as the manager. And that's that kind of thing he said at the near the end of the press conference. So there's clearly been something, whether he feels his position has been questioned or whether he feels that people are overstepping their mark in the club, in the hierarchy, in terms of their opinion of what he's doing at the moment. Yeah.
Well, if you go back, do you remember there was that thing where he went from a back three to a back four?
And then they actually did quite well with that.
Yeah. And then he was questioned about it. And he's kind of, I can't verbatim remember exactly what he said, but basically what he's saying was that I will not change my philosophy for
correct.
I will change it as an evolution of the team, but not for because I'm told to. In effect. And I was listening to him and I was like, it sounds like you're firing shots.
But weren't sure at who.
At that point,
weren't sure at who. Exactly. Now, we spoke about this plenty last season when Man United were floundering down in 16th place, yeah?
Couldn't happen to a better team.
It couldn't happen to a better team, I totally agree with you. And we spoke about the fact that, is he a bit short-sighted in the sense of saying it's 3-4-3 or nothing? Is that a bit short-sighted? Because, number one, he hadn't really had a transfer window at that point. Yeah, he hadn't really invested in his squad to say, okay, I've got the personnel now to play this system and I want to play it. That's number one. Number two, he's just come into a Man United team that was already struggling. There wasn't an upturn when he came in, and we spoke about the fact of shouldn't he just be consolidating, playing a system that all the players are familiar with, consolidate, and then get the players that you want to get in, and then see if you can get the personnel to play that 3-4-3 kind of formation. But he was really adamant, wasn't he, from day one, this is the system that I want to play, and that's that. So fast forward now, 12 months later, and actually, they're in 6th place. There's a huge improvement in terms of the league position, which obviously then says this isn't about what's going on the pitch. It's not about results. It's not about the league position. So there's something else there.
But even if you go back 12 months ago, the squad of players that he's got at his disposal at Man United is better than it was
than
12 months ago.
Exactly that.
They brought in Imbrano.
Yeah.
They brought in Cunha.
Yeah.
They're 6th in the league.
Yeah, they brought in Sesko.
The level on...
I know, he's not done anything yet.
Sesko.
I get it.
Anyway, I think it's going to be that Darwin Núñez anyway. He tries hard.
You mean club legend, yeah?
He tries hard.
You mean Premier League winner, is that what you mean?
But they're 6th in the league.
Yeah.
Level on points with Chelsea.
Yeah.
It is
3 points behind Liverpool in 4th.
I didn't realise you were so high. I can't see you from up here. But anyway. Shots fired!
Anyway.
Shots fired! Anyway. So for me, if you're looking at it as a progression of Manchester United, they are doing a lot better than they did last season.
Correct.
And they've still Martinez has only recently come back. They've still got De Ligt out. They've still got Maguire out.
Yeah.
Those players are to come in to potentially make them stronger.
Yeah.
So what was this about?
Yeah, exactly. And like you say, in terms of the press conference yesterday, him being really adamant about making it very clear that he came here as manager. That's what the agreement was. He didn't come here as a coach. And he even started calling out like Jose Mourinho and Conte and Tuchel. I'm like, why is he calling them out? Is it because they're coaches? I don't get it. I didn't understand the relation in that regard as to why he called those names out.
Now this is purely my view, pure speculation.
Yeah.
But I felt like he was having some form of breakdown.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm watching him and I'm thinking, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, Conte.
Yeah.
Has he managed Man United?
No.
Tuchel. Man United?
But that's why I said, was it about that, or was it about the roles that they play when they go to clubs? Are they seen more as coaches than managers? But I'd put Jose Mourinho in a manager category, because I think when he was at Chelsea yeah, saying that, yeah, difficult. I'm not sure.
I don't think the point landed with me.
No, me neither.
In terms of what's your point?
Yeah.
I understand the modern football, and your head coach, and you have directors of football, and you have a whole recruitment team, and you have different people doing different things.
Yeah.
Man United have that structure in place.
Yeah.
And that structure was in place before you got there.
Yeah.
So you coming out now saying that you came as the manager.
Yeah.
For me, that was a line in the sand. You can't continue from this point.
Yeah.
You can't continue to represent this club from this point. Even though the results have picked up, and Ineos have been clear from the get-go, they were going to give him his 3 years to give him an opportunity to build it.
That's right. And they're taking that away.
You thought... Have they taken it away, or has he forced their hand?
Yeah, he's kind of forced their hand. Yeah,
because what I heard him say, and what I interpreted it is, I heard him say, "I didn't come here as a manager. I didn't come here as a head coach. I came here as a manager." Right. What I heard him say is, "Get rid of me now. Well, if you don't like it, get rid of me." Well, and guess what?
No, that's exactly it. It's more around the fact that he's saying it's under these conditions that I'm here to work. You mentioned the fact that. Around the structure that's there, in terms of transfers, in terms of the style of play, I think the director of football is supposed to get involved very heavily around the style of play, that the team's going to play. And I think they've given him ample opportunity over the last, he came in, November 2024 when he was appointed by Manchester United. I think they've given him plenty of opportunity in terms of saying, okay, well, let's see what you can do with this 3-4-3. Doesn't seem like it's been questioned much by the hierarchy, because we've not heard any murmurings about that anyway. However, in recent times, maybe the question has been asked more so around maybe moving to that, and maybe that's where he feels that his position has been put in question, if you like, in the sense that I'm here to manage the football team, and that includes the choosing of formations, obviously the picking of players, the tactics, yada yada yada. And it feels like he's actually gone public with maybe conversations that were had behind closed doors, and that's probably where they said, nah, I can't do this, because that was a conversation we had behind closed doors. What you've now done, you've shone the spotlight on the club, which now is going to bring more heat and more attention now to what's going on at Manchester United. Don't
you think the Glazers have done an absolute job in terms of what's been going on. Remember before they brought in INEOS, everyone was like, Glazers out, Glazers out, Glazer. They brought in INEOS, all of a sudden nobody talks about the Glazers no more.
Yeah.
I think the next thing that he could have done was mention the Glazers in the press conference. I'm sure something drastic would have happened before that press conference would have finished.
Yeah. You're not wrong. It's a strange one. It kind of then reminds me of when Mourinho was there. Was it Mourinho there, or was it at Spurs? No, it was at Spurs, wasn't it? When he got them to the cup final,
and the
European Cup final,
and the sacked
before the final. Feels like that here as well. Again, with Mourinho, there was something definitely that went on there behind closed doors. Something's gone on at Manchester United behind closed doors, where I think there's been a bit of a power struggle maybe between Amorim and Jason Wilcox potentially, and he's kind of tried to maybe overrule maybe, Jason Wilcox's vision for the club and for the team and how they're performing on the pitch and yada, yada, yada. And I think, that just became untenable. And as you rightly say, I think he's gone into the press conference and said, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. If they keep me on, they keep me on. If they don't, so be it.
Yeah.
I'll take my payout.
But my thing is, this whole power dynamic and what's going on in the background, like, Jason Wilcox, I remember him as the left-footed winger at Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, me too.
He was okay. He's okay. Yeah. Was he the greatest? Not necessarily.
Like Richard Hughes at Liverpool.
Who?
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly.
Yeah.
Accrington Stanley.
Who are they?
Exactly. Anyway, sorry. No copyrights on that, please.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're just reliving our childhood.
Indeed.
But when you look at Dean Ashworth, now, for me, I've been watching Dean Ashworth's work from when he was at West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah.
And he's like a football philosopher.
Yeah.
Like, he has these visions and he sees things in the future and he sets things up for things to progress.
Yeah.
So at West Bromwich Albion, brought Roy Hodgson in, had this philosophy in terms of how the West Bromwich Albion Academy was going to be, recruited the best players in the area, had a conveyor belt of players coming from the academy into West Brom's first team. At that time, West Brom were doing really well. Roy got the England job.
Yeah.
He then moved to England. He started this England DNA.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see the fruits of that labour now. So I think when he first went there, within a couple of years, it won the under-17s and won the under-19s, won the under-21s. So he'd started to kind of build and develop this DNA thing there. He left England, I think, was it Brighton he went to? He went to Brighton, and you can kind of see that philosophy kind of amalgamating at Brighton.
Hold on. No, Newcastle.
Didn't he go from Brighton to Newcastle?
It's Brighton to Newcastle, okay, that's right.
So you can see, like, when you watch Brighton and their philosophy and what they do, you look and you see, okay, I can see the stars aligning, I can see how he works there. Then he kind of got jettisoned up to Newcastle, and you're thinking, with limitless funds, what is he going to be able to achieve at Newcastle? Obviously, PSR and restrictions on Newcastle, so he wasn't able to do it at Newcastle. And then remember, he went on gardening leave for a particular period of time. Then they bring him in at Man United, and at the time he was called, was it best in his class?
Yes.
He clashed with Jason Wilcox.
Yeah.
And Manchester United sided with Jason Wilcox.
Yeah, that's right.
In my view, I don't know the intricacies. I'm not there.
Of course.
Ruben Amorim, where did you think this really was going to go?
Yeah. But like you say, maybe it was a case that he knew if he speaks out that they'll deem his position untenable and get rid.
But wasn't it a couple of weeks ago he spoke about? No, it's Thomas Frank that said he's not enjoying the job. But Ruben Amorim was talking about he doesn't know if he's going to be the Manchester United at the end of his contract.
Yeah. Well, and he said it yesterday again in the sense that 18 months left on the contract, and he pretty much said, when that comes around, then we'll, he almost said, then they'll bring in somebody to replace me, kind of thing. So again, he was almost suggesting that the contract's not going to get extended. Maybe he knew himself that he wasn't interested in signing a new contract at the end of the 18 months. Who knows? A lot of things have gone on in the background that we're probably never going to find out about. But I think it's very clear that this was not down to how the team are performing at the moment, and it's not down to their league position, because actually they're in a very respectable position. And bearing that in mind, if we were to look at, say, we're halfway through the season now, it's 20 games played. If you were to look at Man United now and look at them where they were, let's say, at the end of last season, are they let's not say overperforming because they've spent a lot of money. Are they in a position that we expected them to be in now, around that 6th place? Is that where they rightfully should be, in your opinion?
If you're talking about Manchester United, the brand, if you're talking about
Just the team as we know it, as
the
based
squad,
on what happened last season as well,
are you talking about with the additions of the
with the players that we have there, yeah.
If I was a Manchester United fan, I would expect us to be top 6.
So you'd be pleased based on what happened last season, right?
I'd be ecstatic based on what happened last season. Manchester United fans cannot be complaining about where they are.
Correct. So
even if they it is not a bad season on the football pitch for Manchester United this season.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. It's night and day from last season. It's night and day, right? So definitely not something to do with anything to do with where they are in the league table. How about Leeds? We spoke obviously about Man United and obviously Amber and Go. Actually, before we move on to Leeds, in terms of potential replacements that Man United could be looking at. So Wayne, for those of you on the radio, Wayne is giving me a steel stare because he probably believes that I'm thinking about Unai Emery as a potential replacement. Although I have heard him touted, that's not what I was actually aiming for, Wayne. Just generally, who do you think are the candidates alongside Unai Emery for the job at Man United now?
Sam Allardyce.
He's good mates with them, Alex, isn't it? With Sir Alex Ferguson, good mates.
No, I think Glasner is one that I think realistically Man United need to be looking at. And if I'm being open and transparent, I do think Unai Emery would be a manager that Man United would want, but I don't think Man United is good for Unai Emery.
I look at it from Unai Emery's perspective, and I say I've got quite a good thing where I am now. I've already done go to a big club in England and got shafted a little bit by
And went to Paris.
Yeah,
and got shafted
there as well, exactly. So I think he will be happy where he is. He's got a project that he's working on. The project is going very well at the moment. He's got the support and the backing of the guys upstairs. Probably haven't got the money, maybe that. But then Unai's never been a man that's had to rely on swathes of funds to get a tune out of a team.
Let's break this down for Unai. Yeah. At Arsenal, he was restricted. He went in there after Wenger couldn't spend any money.
Yeah.
He went to Paris Saint-Germain and he went into a toxic changing room.
Yeah.
He's not. He likes harmony and he's very thorough. He's very detailed.
Yeah.
I can't imagine some of those players are into these 4, 5, 6 hours video analysis and match breakdowns in terms of how he goes about his thing.
Yeah.
He come to Villa, and Villa have changed their whole structure.
Yeah.
So you have the owners, and underneath the owners, you have Unai Emery. Unai Emery.
Yeah.
He controls everything.
Yeah, everything around the football club. Yeah.
Everything.
A real manager.
Yeah, he's doing the man. Amarin.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have.
Yeah.
Anyway. But now you're okay, mate. You can stay where you are. But he's got control over all that.
Yeah.
Now, even if Man United do approach him and offer him the job, they're not going to be able to offer him the assurances that he has where he is.
And the control that he has.
He's not going to have that.
Yeah.
So for me, don't get me wrong, as a Villa fan, I'll be gutted.
Yeah.
But putting my sensible head on, it doesn't make any sense.
Do you think that when they get the relationship right between a manager and a director of football, do you think there's value in that over a manager having full oversight over everything? Because me personally, I see value if they're working in harmony between the director of football and the manager, simply because of the fact that the director of football can take the weight off the manager in terms of sourcing players. The manager can give them the profile of player maybe that they believe they need. Then the director of football can lead in that search. But at the same time, the manager then can focus more on training ground, team, structure, yada, yada, yada.
Now, the European model and a director of football has been in existence for a significant period of time.
Indeed.
I think in the Premier League, it hasn't really evolved or as embedded as it is in other countries. Because you look at Bayern Munich, you look at Barcelona, you even look at Madrid. Like, they have their directors of football, and the directors of football are normally ex-players, well respected around the club, able to negotiate, and the relationship between your director of football and your manager needs to be on point. So I do think the model works because, for example, if your manager leaves and he's in charge of everything, so for Villa, if Unai Emery is to leave now, everything falls apart because we're so reliant on one person that's built it.
All of that,
in the way that he's built it.
Indeed.
So there's no succession planning. There's no progression from there.
Correct.
So I do think in terms of sustainability of clubs, it works for clubs to have the director of football manager model.
It helps with that continuity when new managers leave.
Or the director of football can leave and you replace director of football. Manager can leave. You know what I mean? So same as the players.
Exactly. So there's continuity there. Yeah, for sure. And I'd say for me, I think there's that split of, ability to split up duties. Yeah. But there has to be cohesion, there has to be harmony between those two elements. Otherwise,
has to be. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
My
man's bringing in, Wayne Rooney, and, you want Wayne Rooney to come in and play centre-back. It's not going to work. There needs to be, total harmony there. It is 10:30, guys. We're going to go for a quick break now. When we come back after the break, we will be bringing you the Grime Journalist roundup of the weekend's football. So stay tuned, and we'll be looking at some of the other games over the weekend, as well as talking a bit about Enzo Maresca. So stay tuned, guys, and see you on the other side.
Radio.
And welcome back to the Genius Football Show, guys. You're in tune here with myself. Take the cue off. Maybe you can hear us now on the radio. Once again, welcome back to newstyleRadio.com and the Genius Football Show. Also live on Breakthrough TV. So if you're on YouTube, go across to Breakthrough TV and you'll be able to see us live in the studio. Let's give them a wave, Wayne. Let's give them a wave. So we're live in the studio, guys, both on newstyleRadio.com and Breakthrough TV. And before we go any further, we are going to give you a bit of a roundup of the weekend's results, brought to you by the Grime Journalist. So check this out. If you've not heard the Grime, I'm sure you've heard the Grime Journalist now. If you listen to the show regularly, you'll know the Grime Journalist like the back of your hand now. But here's his roundup from this weekend's games.
Game week 20 in the Premier League kicked off on Saturday at lunchtime. Villa 3, Forest 1, Watkins goal, McGinn scored twice, Brighton 2, Burnley 0, Wolves 3, West Ham 0. The game was done by half-time. Mane and Hwang, too much skill. Bournemouth 2, Arsenal 3, Declan Rice, second half brace. Gabriel with the other goal after an unusual mistake. Leeds 1, United 1. Amarin's press conference was odd. All that I'm the manager talk just cost him his job. Everton 2, Brentford 4, Thiago, hat-trick. Fulham 2, Liverpool 2, Reed's equaliser was sick. Newcastle 2, Palace 0, goals from Gimaresh and Tau. Tottenham 1, Sunderland 1, Spurs fans still want Frank out. Meanwhile at the Etihad, Pep Guardiola was stressed. City 1, Chelsea 1, Enzo equalised at the death. That leaves them in second on the same points as Villa, 6 points behind Arsenal. That's a killer.
Yo, even Shannon in the studio, man, he just looked around and just give him a little nod like, jeez. That's dope. Yo, Grime Journalist, otherwise known as Dream. That was hard. It was dark. I want to play that again, but I'm not going to play it now. I might play at the end of the show again, because that was dark, man. The beat was hard. The delivery, the flow, everything was just, bad boy. And I'm
playing it in my car on my way home.
That's dope.
You know what?
That bass line.
You did my thing, man.
Oh, what? You gave Villa some hype?
Yeah, man. Manchester City, same points as Villa.
What, you're going to get a trophy for that?
Bro, we're Aston Villa, bro. We're not Liverpool.
No, think higher. Liverpool are Premier League champions. I know you're not Premier League champions.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is think a bit higher, man. You shouldn't be saying, oh, we're level on points with Man City. That's, let's celebrate that. You should be saying, we're 4 points behind Arsenal. We need to buck up our ideas and make sure Arsenal don't win that league. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
The corrupt Big Six and Aston Villa are punching above the... Three years ago, we almost went out of business, you know.
Dream higher, that's what I'm saying, man.
Brother,
higher
we're
aspirations,
third
you know
in the league. I'm dreaming of winning it. If we win the league, you know what? I don't even know what I'm going to do. I don't even know what I'm going to do.
But if Villa were to win the league, let's look at it this way. Do you think it would be on par with Leicester's achievement in 2015-16, was it?
No. because I think that in terms of Villa, we've got pedigree. We've won the European Cup. We've won the league before. So this is just a kind of revisiting, like it's the the old guard that come back.
Yeah.
Like that's where we'd be at. I think when Leicester did it, it was a complete shock.
Yeah, shocking it. Yeah,
no one expected it.
Yeah.
If you've been watching Villa incrementally over the last 3 years, I'm only going back 3 years. Yeah.
Well, because you're in the.
Unai Emery only took over 3 years ago. I mean, Unai Emery took over. Was in the was near the relegation.
That's true. That's true. So you talk about Unai's journey as well.
Unai's journey.
Yeah.
So in his first season, we qualified for the Champions League. We brought Bayern Munich to Villa Park and beat them.
Indeed.
In our first season back in the Champions League since 1982.
Yeah.
Brother, that's not something that you really expect. I wouldn't say it didn't happen in my lifetime, but I was 5. As a big man now, I'm watching and I'm proud of my team. And whatever happens, I will be proud of them because they've brought some joy to my life.
Yeah.
When we're talking about we potentially have one of the best midfields in the league, and it cost us 50 million for the 3 of them. And then we look at Liverpool, you go out and buy Verts. How much you pay for Verts? 82? 82 and a half? 85?
No, it was 105.
Oh, sorry, even more than that, 105. Then you look at Chelsea, go out and buy Caicedo, Enzo, spending over 200 million on those. Bro, Boubacar Kamara, free transfer. Yuri Tillemans, free transfer. Amadou Onana, 50 million.
Yeah.
Amadou Onana is a player transformed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What he's doing now, he weren't doing that when he first came to Villa.
Yeah.
That's when you've got a manager who is taking pride in his players and coaching those players to be better players.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me get off my high horse.
So that was a 5-minute rant based on the fact. I said, dream higher.
Bro.
Guys, no, hold on, sorry. Just for the guys who are listening and watching in, that was not meant to happen. Wayne just went rogue. Wayne went rogue like Rambo, yeah. Started taking out people in the Jungle Boy. Wow. That's special. That was special. No, but sometimes you just need to let people just, get it off your chest, man.
Understand, man.
Get it off your chest.
And now I'm cool.
Sure? We're good?
We're good, man.
We'll get back to the script.
Let me find where we're on the script.
Yeah, we're not there. Sorry, okay, cool. So another managerial casualty we were speaking about, obviously before the break, was Enzo Maresca. By the way, sorry, so just to round up, big up Dream, the Grime journalist, for sending through that, that mix. That was a dope roundup, man. I think that's my favourite one, actually. Each week it feels like my favourite one, but that one I think is going to sit with me for a little while. Yeah, that's dope. I might have to replay that, as you say, as well, Wayne, for sure. Man City won, Chelsea won. So obviously by the time Chelsea travelled up to the Etihad, Maresca had already left. He left, what was he, last Sunday, I think it was?
He left on the 1st.
Was it on the 1st? Yeah, that he walked out. Okay.
Did he walk out or was he sacked?
Well, this is it, because I heard that he was sacked, but then when I checked it again, I heard he walked out, and obviously therefore he forfeited his, any payout that he would have been due had he been sacked. So it sounds like maybe he knew the sack was coming and he stepped before the sack. It sounds like, because I've heard some people say that's actually quite admirable of him. He could have, hung on to the coattails and wait to get kicked and take a big payout on the way out as well. That did follow a bit of a rant from him maybe a week and a half before. I think it was prior to the Everton. Huh?
There's a pattern forming, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying, exactly. It's like the whole thing, players running down their contracts so they can get a free move to Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? Or speaking out in the press so they can get a move away. Managers are doing it now as well. My manager's like, wait till the press conference this week and see what go on.
They're contractually obliged to do the press conference.
Of course, so they have to be there. Yeah. So anyway, he had a bit of a rant, didn't he, before, was it after the Everton game, I think, when they won, and then he said, this has been the most difficult week,
72 hours.
72 hours or whatever, in my life, which was, I think, the 72 hours between the previous game, where I think they lost. I think that's when they lost to Leeds in midweek, maybe, I can't remember, and then obviously that Everton match. He didn't, when people started then to ask him, what do you mean? He kind of suggested that he didn't feel like he had the support of people around him. Maybe there was questions being asked where he didn't think that it was warranted for his position to be questioned maybe at that point. Which I have to say I agree with him. Chelsea, I think you said at the beginning of the season, I said on any day they can beat any team, and therefore I think they'll be knocking around top 4, top 6. You said you didn't think the back 4 were strong enough for them to really sustain a title challenge, and it's all kind of come to fruition. That's exactly it. Going forward, they look pretty ominous at times. Defensively, no. Midfield, fairly solid at times. At other times, no. So again, when we talk about is a team where we'd expect them to be. Yeah, Chelsea, what, 5th? Fifth, I think it's 5th, just behind Liverpool. Yeah, you kind of expect them to be there. So
3 points behind Liverpool.
Exactly. So maybe he feels that, it was unfair for his position to be being questioned at that point. But then you could question the fact of, well, is it your genius, or is it just that the rest of the league is actually probably underperforming to a degree? Do you know what I mean? In the sense that you're only 3 points behind Liverpool, you expect Liverpool to be further up the table. We're still 14 points behind top place. Did the Chelsea hierarchy genuinely believe that they should be closer to Arsenal and putting pressure on Arsenal at the top of the table? I don't know. Either way, January the 1st comes, he walks. Not much explanation, although I did read somewhere earlier on the fact that one of the reasons as to why he might have walked was because of the fact news did also surface. They'd spoken to Manchester City about succeeding Pep Guardiola, right? So whether that was something maybe that the Chelsea hierarchy also didn't take kindly to, that he had that conversation with the Manchester City hierarchy, that also could be the case as to why maybe there was going to be a parting of ways sooner rather than later.
So is he not allowed to talk to them?
Not if you're contracted to another club.
So he can't speak to them?
Not if you're contracted to another club.
No. He worked there.
Yes.
He's friends with Pep.
Yes.
So he cannot talk to Pep. He cannot talk to anyone.
He can talk to him and say, yeah, hey, how's your family?
But how do they...
Can't talk to him and say, yeah, so when are you planning on leaving?
No. I don't mean that. I mean, like, how much control do they have over who you can and can't speak to?
Rob, it's the same with the players, isn't it? When they say, players shouldn't be speaking to clubs before, while they're in contact with them. Everyone knows now. Before it used to be called tapping up, remember? And clubs used to get fined for it, remember? Now there's so many different channels that a player can communicate whatever they want to communicate to a club, and they can communicate back, where the player can turn around and say, I never spoke to them. Maybe my people did, but I...
Did you see the Igor Tudor moment and the Brentford Forest? Who's the striker for the Brazilian striker for
Igor Jesus?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Where Tudor was celebrating with Jesus about his goal because of VAR. Did you see that?
No.
So he scored a hat-trick.
Yeah. No, you're talking Brentford.
Brentford, sorry.
Yeah. Igor
Tudor.
Yeah.
So he scored his goal, going for a VAR check. Then they give the goal, and he went and celebrated with the Nottingham Forest Brazilian forward, and you could see everyone looking like, you're not allowed to do that. But the fact... And he just lost his mind for that moment. So should he lose his job for that?
What, you called him Igor Tudor.
Is it Tudor?
Thiago. Yeah, Thiago.
My bad.
Thiago,
My bad. Igor Thiago.
But you said he celebrated with the Forest...
striker, the Brazilian...
The Everton... Are we talking...
Was it Beto?
Beto, yeah.
He celebrated. Okay. And you watch and you like...
Was Beto celebrating as well?
No.
Okay.
Kind of pushed him away. You know what I mean? So should he be sacked for that then? So all the Brazilian players that come to play in England, they shouldn't, just because they don't play for the same team, they shouldn't speak to each other.
No, that's different, because they're not speaking to each other about joining each other's clubs.
No, but how do we know who's speaking to?
Yeah, we don't know. But what has been touted as being, having occurred, was that Maresca had deal because they're really good friends and they're good family and this, that, the other. Then fair enough, yeah. And he could have said, yeah, look, they're my friends. I worked with them for many years and we've got a good bond. So we met up and had a meal. What's wrong with that? But the fact that it's come out, or it's suggested, and there's been nobody come out to say that's absolute rubbish.
Well, he said it never happened.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, he said he said that he'll be here.
Yeah.
He said that he'll be at Chelsea till the end of the season.
Yeah. When it comes, it states here, Enzo's. Oopsie daisy. It says here, no thank you, I don't want to hold your hand. Enzo Maresca's shock departure at Chelsea came after he informed the club that he held talks with figures associated to Man City over Pep Guardiola's, replacing Pep Guardiola.
But that wasn't what he was saying when it first broke.
Well, this is my point. So this is where, again, we know a manager's not necessarily going to come into a press conference and tell you the truth about every single thing that they ask. But it sounds like there probably was some truth behind that. And maybe that's where the conversation went a bit south, maybe Chelsea were, maybe the Chelsea hierarchy were pushing him on it. We've heard this. This is what the reports are saying. Is there any truth in it? And maybe he said, actually, yeah, I'm succession planning. Do you know what I mean? Again, though, you can look at that and you can say, in most vocations, there's a lot of people that will have their goals for the year, as you talked about, setting goals. And they may say, okay, yeah, by the end of this year, I want to be working for, top 5 FTSE company or whatever. People do that, but in football, it's just a whole new set of rules, man. A whole new set of rules. But anyway, Maresca's out. They're looking at Liam Rosenior, which I'm really shocked at, if I'm totally honest with you.
Why?
It's Chelsea.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They've demonstrated that on numerous occasions. They don't know what they're doing.
But I think I'm used to Chelsea going out, a little bit kind of like Madrid style-y, and going out and getting a big name, manager who is...
Under Todd Bowley? Under Todd Bowley?
Well...
I'm surprised they didn't go back and get Lampard.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't think Frank would leave there for now anyway. I think he's got a good thing at Coventry. And
he's been bun twice at Chelsea.
Exactly,
why would you go back to that?
Because he's obviously a club legend. He loves the club.
At the end of the season, maybe, but not now.
But even at the end of the season, I think he's got a good thing going at Coventry. And it comes back to like me saying, the shiny lights aren't always, the best route for any player or manager. And as you rightly say, he'll know going to Chelsea, the pressure that will be on him there. He's been able to operate in the shadows at Coventry until Coventry started doing really well. Now he's now in the limelight, but he's in the limelight for the right reasons. When you go to Chelsea, you're in the limelight from day one. There's no shadows. There's nowhere for you to hide. You have to be, hitting those notes from day one. So, yeah, I don't think I see Frank going there. Liam Rosenior, you know what? I meant to do some research on where is he at the moment? Do you know?
Strasbourg.
He's at Strasbourg.
They're part of the Blue Group.
That's correct, which is obviously, so there's a link there already between the clubs.
So Liam Rosenior was the first team manager at Hull City, and he did an absolutely fantastic job at Hull City.
Yeah, that's right.
And then there was I don't know if there was a falling out with the chairman, where they decided they were going to part ways. But he was one of those young, up-and-coming English managers.
Yeah.
He then got the gig at Strasbourg. He's been working wonders in Strasbourg.
Yeah.
They're competing on all fronts. Obviously, in France, nobody's really competing with PSG, even though Marseille are making a fist of it this season with their whole Premier League 11. They can put out a Premier League 11. But Strasbourg are fighting punching above their weight, doing okay in Europe, and he's part of the Blues Group. And he's an up-and-coming manager. He doesn't. Nothing that Chelsea does anymore surprises me.
Well, no, exactly that.
So when I'm hearing them linked to Rosenior, it's like, okay, and then you'll sack him before the end of the season.
Correct, exactly that. They're also linked with the Porto manager, Francesco Forioli.
Who said he's not going?
Who said he's not going already?
He's already ruled it out.
Fair enough. Liam Rosenior didn't actually rule it out. He just said he's not going to talk on the Chelsea speculation, right? But also
from his perspective, why would he?
No, exactly.
If you've got the opportunity to go and do it at Chelsea, go and do it.
And there's no need for him to talk about it. Him talking about it in the press or confirming it doesn't, affect whether he gets a job or not. But it's stated as well that it also depends on the quality of manager that Strasbourg can bring in to replace him. So that's also a factor as to whether he's going to pick it up straight away.
The Strasbourg fans are up in arms. What they're saying is that we're not a feeder club.
We're not a feeder club, exactly that. Yeah. So and so they should be up in arms about it. My thing is also, you talk about certain positions, certain managerial positions, certain clubs being a poison chalice. Who were talking about that last week? We were saying there was a poison chalice manager. I think you mentioned Wolves, for example, when we spoke about the Rob Andrews situation. Go on, the Wolves.
We'll get to them.
And, I just see Chelsea as that poison chalice, and I think it's been that way since the Roman Abramovich era. I don't see it really improving under Todd Bowley. I think it's probably getting worse under Todd Bowley.
I remember when they bought... Remember Big Phil Scolari? Brazilian manager. I remember watching him, his Brazilian teams, and he played this level of football, and I was like, wow. Yeah. And then he came in, and I think he won 7 games on the trot, and everyone's talking about how well he's doing. Yeah. Within a month or 2 months of that? Gone.
Yeah, got rid. So listen, I don't think I'll make any bones about the fact that I despise Chelsea as a club. I do. I don't think they have great ethics. You know, look at what they did in terms of stockpiling players, bringing all these players in, and they could only, you know, they're half a squad who can't even be named in the Premier League squad. You know what I'm saying? All of that for me is just really unethical, personally, and there's nothing that they do that changed my mind about that. I mean, yeah, bringing in Liam Rossignol, a black manager, you know, that's a surprise to me. And he is a lamb to the slaughter, you're not wrong.
I'm surprised he didn't go for Sol Campbell.
Why Sol Campbell?
He's always looking for a job, isn't it?
Has he ever managed? He managed one team, didn't he?
He did, and then
that didn't last. He just fizzled out. Yeah, I don't even know what he got.
He's in the academy at QPR at the moment.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, listen. Long live the circus that is Chelsea. That's what I say. And obviously Manchester United as well with Ruben Amorim, as you rightly say, couldn't happen to two nicer clubs. You know, they get what they what they deserve. In terms of the weekend's game, obviously Chelsea did go to the Etihad. They got a 1-1 draw with a last-minute Enzo Maresca equaliser, which he put in after about the 73rd attempt of trying to get the ball in the net. And he eventually got it in the net. That was superseded by a great goal. Ooh, do you see the Reinders goal?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, nice. Kind of gave it a little, kind of showed like he wanted to kind of bend it into the far corner, dragged it onto his left.
Was it bend into the far corner or look for Haaland?
Yeah. Either one, but that drag with the right foot to bring it onto the left. Mwah, beautiful. He's a player, he didn't come with the fanfare of your Cherkis or your Haaland, but I tell you what, he's a player. And I'd always liked him at Milan, by the way, and for the Dutch team as well. But yeah, he's got a bit of steel about him, but he's also got a bit of class about him as well, which is, yeah.
I think he's a great player.
Great player. So what we're doing, guys, you know, if you haven't picked up, we are looking at teams where they are currently in the Premier League and thinking, or asking the question, are they where we expect them to be? Are they underperforming or they're overperforming? So bearing what we spoke about in mind around Maresca, obviously him departing, again, in terms of Chelsea's performance in the league, where they are now halfway through the season, Wayne, do you think Chelsea are where they should be at the moment?
I believe so. I believe so. They blow hot and cold.
Yeah.
And as we've said before on the show, on their day, they can beat anybody.
Anybody, that's right. And they can play some very impressive football.
Yeah. But then, when it's not their day,
they can go and lose 3-1 to Leeds. Just to be really specific.
And that's just typifies Chelsea at the moment.
Yeah.
I look at them and I think to myself, like, they've let experience go. Thiago Silva, he might have been getting on in age, but that experience and that...
You kind of want to keep it around the club, don't you?
You know what I mean? For the younger players coming through now.
He still wanted to play. And going back home for him, I think that's a great way for him to end his career, to be fair.
Well, he's left the team. He went back to the...
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay, fair enough. So, yeah, I agree they're where they should be at the moment. Manchester City, probably agree again. I
don't think they've had the consistency to really be up there. Yeah. Like they're in a title challenge because they're second.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I don't think they're showing the consistency that we've seen of Manchester City teams.
No. And bearing in mind, you know, if we go back to the first month of the season, they weren't even in the conversation at that point. They weren't even in the conversation. They've done well, I think, to get themselves back into contention. But listen, I mean, they've lost 4 games already in the league. That's not Manchester City form. You know, that's four losses usually. That's the total quota for the season usually. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, clearly they're not where they need to be, but they've had a bit of a rebuild themselves, obviously as well. So you kind of expect a little bit of a drop off. And I think just Arsenal's relentlessness at the moment, which we'll talk about after the break, their relentlessness at the moment is just putting teams like Man City, Liverpool in the shade, you know, because Villa are overperforming, so no one's going to say anything about Villa being, you know.
Don't.
I'm repeating what you said.
Don't hate the player.
I'm repeating what you said. That's all I'm doing. So yeah, I'd say Man City and Chelsea are where they should be at the moment. In terms of Pep Guardiola, do you see him being here next season? Do you think it's kind of like the long farewell for him now, whether it's this season or the following season? Do you think there's got to be a new challenge out there for him maybe, or maybe just a break for him?
I think if he wins the Premier League, he walks away. If he doesn't, will he stay on one more season and do it again next? He doesn't need to. He's done it. He's dominated. You know what I mean? He's won Champions League. He's won they said he couldn't win Champions League outside of Barca. He's come in. He's done it.
Yeah.
He's won consecutive league titles. He's a winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It depends what motivates him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when he left Barcelona, nobody expected him to leave Barcelona.
True.
You know what I mean? He's like, I need a break.
Yeah.
Man just bounced.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And when you hear him talking and like football's his passion, and he understands that he can only keep up this passion for so long. He needs to nourish himself. He needs to take a break. He needs to step away. You know what I mean? So if he was to retire at the end of the season or leave Manchester City, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. My question, I suppose, also is it the Premier League that's more important to him, or getting the Champions League again? I wonder.
Without speaking to him,
you would never know.
You'd never know, because I think that for him, I don't know how many times he won it at Barca, but he didn't win it at Bayern. Won it at Manchester City.
But as a Spaniard, him winning the Champions League again with, as you say, Manchester City, winning their second Champions League also, does that feed his ego more than winning the Premier League again? I wonder. Because as you say, he's won the Premier League, 7 years on the bounce. Well, sorry, apart from the ones that Liverpool won in between to break up the Manchester City dominance. Other than that, it's cleaned up in the Premier League. So the Champions League is the one really where you could say, could they have done better?
I think where Arteta and Arsenal are now, he could see that as a challenge.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like, hold on a minute, we're not running away with it. It's not easy. We're going to have to work hard to catch them.
Yeah.
It could do. Maybe not. I don't know. But for me, it's got to be Champions League.
Right, yeah, I agree. Let's go for a break, guys. It's 11 o'clock. When we come back, we will look at some of the other teams, look at where they are in the league at the halfway point, and touch on some of the matches that took place over the weekend. So stay tuned, and we'll see you on the other side.
You're listening to Birmingham's Big Community FM, New Style Radio.
Across the city on 98.7 FM. New Style Radio.
And we're back. It's just gone the hour of 11 o'clock. We're kind of covering, some of the games, for those of you that probably did miss the games or were not sure of all the results. But what we're also focusing on really is just, halfway through the season, are teams underperforming, overperforming, or are they pretty much where we expect them to be? And personally, if we're talking about a team that's overperforming or definitely exceeding expectations, because Wayne will look at overperforming as some sort of slant at his beloved Villa. Let's just say exceeding expectations. Aston Villa third in the league table currently, joint points obviously with Manchester City, and currently 6 points off leaders Arsenal. A couple of weeks ago, you see when a man loved mediocrity. A couple of weeks ago, just to bring him back down to earth. Look at a couple of weeks ago, Villa travelled to the Emirates with the chance of actually going top of the league, joint top with Arsenal, if I recall correctly. Wayne, is that right? Just a yes or no answer is fine.
Joint would have been joint points, but our goal difference.
Yeah, so joint. Yeah, I always say joint top. I only look at goal difference when it comes to the end of the season, and got dismantled at the Emirates. Let's just call a spade. Yeah, 4-1. Now, did that show? Shannon's trying not to laugh in the background, man. Shannon, I was trying to keep a straight face, man. Sure. No, No, but my point was there. I think there was a lot of. I think you're going there on the back of what was it, 11-game winning streak.
Yep.
Which was the longest winning streak since like 1912 or 1913, something like that, right? Yep. So you're going there on a high. Really and truly, for me, the pressure was never on Villa going to the Emirates in that game. Going there in that, the pressure was always going to be on Arsenal. So you can actually give Arsenal props for saying they performed when they needed to perform to show, we're the big dogs round here.
Hold on.
However, you're gone.
Hold on.
Go on.
The game before, we get a booking for Matty Cash.
Yeah.
And we get a booking for Boubacar Kamara.
Yeah.
Anana's playing in that first half.
Yeah.
Arsenal aren't looking the same team.
Yeah.
Mourinho assaults him on the pitch twice, doesn't even get a card.
Yeah.
Anana has to go off injured, and then we have to put on Bogard and play McGinn in the centre of the field. So for me, don't... Give Arsenal their flowers.
Yeah.
We went to the Emirates and they did what they needed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Applause to them.
Oh, that's good, because I thought you were making excuses there. Sorry. Yeah. But you are applauding them. Okay, got it.
We don't make excuses here. We don't make excuses
You
here.
just talk facts.
Facts. Straight facts.
4-1 is a fact.
4-1's a fact. We lost 4-1. Yes, we did. My issue is, the Villa squad is wafer thin. So if we get a couple of injuries, and all of a sudden, the momentum and the performance doesn't maintain.
And this is where I wanted to go to in terms of mentioning that particular match. Before we move on, obviously, to the victory over Nottingham Forest. When you look at Villa and you look at where we are in the season at the moment, and you look at, okay, they're 3 points, let's say, before that game behind Arsenal. Are they title challengers? The question was. And I think Unai Emery, probably 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, when people were starting to talk Villa up as potential title challengers, he mentioned exactly that 1 or 2 injuries can actually have a big impact on our squad compared to the other squads in the that are at the top fighting. And I think that was a very clear indication of the thin line between having a title-challenging starting 11 or match-day squad and actually having a squad that could struggle against certain teams because of the lack of depth that's there.
Brother, Ezri Konsa gets injured.
Again.
Martinez gets injured.
Yeah.
And it's Pete, bro.
Rodgers gets injured. So it is one of those whereby it's that thin line. But let's not take away from the fact also that I don't think anybody, even with a fully fit squad, imagined Villa would be knocking about in second, third place and having the potential to go top, in December, having, via a head-to-head with the league leaders at the time. So I would still say that they are over-exceeding the expectations that were probably set on them at the beginning of the season.
And XG.
What's that? Exceeding the XG?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because according to XG, we shouldn't have scored the number of goals that we scored, because a lot of our goals are scored from outside the box.
Got it.
So the same, we should... Like, Ollie Watkins has just gone through a barren spell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we're still...
Great strike on Saturday. I didn't see that in his lock, I've got to be honest with you. If you didn't see, guys, Ollie Watkins with a, beautiful strike. I had to check out, is that Rodgers? And he's like, oh, right, it's Ollie. Great strike from outside the box from Ollie Watkins, which obviously put Villa 1-0 up in that game. John McGinn got himself a couple of goals, and also Morgan Gibbs-White got a consolation for Forest also in there as well. I would say Villa are, as I say, probably 4 places higher than I would have expected them to be at this point. I would have expected them to be up there between 8th and 8th and 4th.
If you'd have asked me at the beginning of the season, where will Villa be come the end of the season? I would have said to you, if we finish in the top, we should be aiming to finish in the top 6, 7.
Yeah.
We should compete in there and thereabouts.
That's right.
When you look at how we started the season, the first 5 games of the season, where everything was going wrong. We didn't score a goal in the first 5 games. You're like, this top 7 is going to be a struggle. And then you look on the run that we've just had. He's beating records. He's smashing records all over the place. But if you look how Unai has systematically built us up, he's turning players that were there under Gerrard all of a sudden into these world-class players.
Like who?
McGinn.
Yeah. But I think McGinn was already up there.
He's not playing now like he did then. McGinn was all bottom. No, McGinn was just running into people. He's like a terrier.
But I always knew
getting stuck in. No, there's always a player there. Considering we bought him for $2.5 million 7 years ago, and my man has brought us. Well, I can't say he brought us, but he's contributed from the Championship up to the Premier League and up to the top of the Premier League. Like, this is dream Roy of the Rovers stuff.
I remember.
Ezri Konsa, Digne, Ian Matson, Morgan Rogers.
Yeah. But they weren't all there when Stevie was there, were they? When Gerrard was there. Rogers wasn't there when Gerrard was there.
No.
And Matson and...
we plucked Morgan Rogers from Middlesbrough. He'd only played 6 months of first-team football. Man City Academy, sold to Middlesbrough for $1 million.
Indeed.
Played 6 months, and then we picked him up, and the rest, as they say, is history. Just like the new Brazilian winger that we just signed, Alisson.
Yeah, I've not seen anything of him.
There's not much to see because he hasn't played much first team games. But very similar in style and stature and playability, the way he plays.
Got it.
He's like a left-footed Morgan Rogers.
Nice.
But what they're saying is that he can't speak a word of English.
Yeah.
And it's going to take him a bit of time to acclimatise into the country.
And how old is he, 17?
19.
19, okay.
19.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. That's good. At least I'm sure they're not they're not relying on him over the next 2-3 months. As you say, that definitely seems like a long-term signing to bring him through, which is good. So listen, Villa doing bits at the moment. I've got no qualms about congratulating Villa on their achievements so far in the season. Lot of games to play, so you just want to make sure you don't drop off too far. Do you know what I'm saying?
Bro, how many points ahead of you, Yogi?
Doesn't matter.
How many points ahead of you?
About 4 points.
4?
8.
4?
8. 8 points. All right, it's 8 points, man. But anyway, it's early days. Anyway, we're going to talk now about...
Early days, it's December, it's January, bro.
Let's talk Forest. Nottingham Forest. So they had a bit of a new manager bounce, didn't they, under Sean Dyche when Sean Dyche came in. Feels like that bounce is kind of, like transitioned into like a bit of a stumble, trip, fall. I personally, I've got to be honest with you, I didn't like the appointment of Sean Dyche going to Nottingham Forest. I think what Nuno had built there before he, so unceremoniously got sacked. What he built there for me, he started to make Forest an attractive proposition, an attractive team with a bit of steel, but they had the flair in the right areas. He knew when to go in really pragmatically against teams, wear them down, and then throw on your Hudson-Odoi and your who was on the right, Ilanga, what would have been Amari Hutchison now. And he just knew when, okay, last 15 minutes, let's go for them. Let's go for the jugular now. I really enjoyed that. I just find Sean Dyche, in comparison, very one-dimensional. And I think in terms of anything that's sexy that comes out of Forest at the moment, for me, that's just the remnants of Nuno's, of Nuno's kind of tenure there, rather than Sean Dyche saying, yeah, let's play this sexy football, which I'm not seeing a lot of at the moment. I don't know if he is where Forest need to be now. I think Forest had moved, especially with their European football now as well, being in Europe at the moment. I feel that was a really poor appointment long term for me.
I think we've got to be real about Nuno. He was a counter-attacking manager. He hit people on the break. Solid defensively, keep compact. When we spring on.
But he wasn't a counter-attacking manager at Wolves. And this is where I come down to the fact that he, unlike another Portuguese manager who's just left the Premier League, Mr. Shannon, Nuno Espirito looked at the squad that he had available to him. At Wolves, he had ball players in your Moutinhos, in your Neves, and they played an expansive game.
Bro.
At a club that no one really expected them to be doing what they were doing under him at that point.
Bro, name those two players again.
Neves and Moutinho.
Neves and Moutinho.
Yeah.
They're not your average centre midfielders, bro.
But they were before they went Wolves. Because if they weren't, Wolves wouldn't have picked them up. Wolves had just come up.
Bro.
Yeah.
Moutinho.
Yeah.
Where did Moutinho come from?
Porto.
Moutinho was Porto?
Or was it Neves? No, I think Moutinho was Porto.
We'll need to fact check that. Moutinho was an established Portuguese international when he went there.
And was he a full international?
Moutinho?
Yeah.
Moutinho was.
Okay.
Neves was there and thereabouts, but Neves was the captain of Porto at like 17, 18 years old. He was playing like 35, 37 games seasons before we went there. Like everybody in Portugal was aware of the potential of him. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a surprise that he went on and had the career that he did.
Yeah. He actually came from he came from Monaco. Actually, he was at Porto earlier in his career. This is Martinho. He was at Porto earlier in his career between 2010 2013. 2013 2018, he was at Monaco. So that must have been the Monaco team that it was the Monaco team that did really well. Alongside Bernardo Silva and Bakayoko, was it, who went to Chelsea and disappeared. And then he came to Wolves from there. So so they're not unknowns. They're not average players, let's say.
When they rolled up at Wolves, it's like when Tevez and my guy that came to Liverpool,
Mascherano.
When they rolled up at West Ham, no one's expecting that. So the quality of their players, the quality of the players that he suddenly got, he can play an expansive.
So what do you think drove those two players to a club like Wolves?
The relationship between the owners of Wolves and the agent.
So basically, they got paid decent money to come to play in the Premier League, which is fair enough.
They got paid decent money. But they got promised bigger things. Do you remember that season as well, where their away kit
was the Portuguese kit?
And you're watching all these the right back from Barcelona that went there.
Exactly.
Was it Emerson?
No. I know who you mean. I can't get the name, but I know who you mean.
And you're looking, and you're thinking, who? All these players going in. So when he had the players, he played the expensive
but no, but that's my point. So because you said he's a defender, he's a defensive counter-attacking coach. I'm saying I think he plays to what he has in his squad. At Wolves, he could have played a counter-attacking even with those players there, but actually he realised we could be a bit more expansive here. They had also my man who's at Fulham now, Adama Traore as well.
Trying to get him back now.
Jimenez as well. They had a really good team there. So you could see when he's got the players to do that, he will play a more expansive game. So where I'm coming from is that with Forest, I saw him starting to move towards that model slowly. Because there were some games that I watched them play, and they went toe-to-toe with, teams who were supposed to be up there in the top 4, top 6. So to go from that to Sean Dyche, to Dyche ball...
No, I think you've got to give Dyche some credit. Like, he's not a Route 1 merchant.
No one said he's a Route 1 merchant.
But I do think that the injuries at Forest have really hindered him.
No, if we talk about skill sets, you talked about obviously Nuno being that counter-attacking. If we're talking a manager who has a very clear identity in his football and the way that he sets up teams, it's Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche, you employ him to stop yourself getting relegated. I understand Forest were in a precarious position when Nuno left. Where were they? I'm sure they were still around mid-table. They weren't in danger of going down. So to go to Sean Dyche from there, I just felt was a little bit lazy, I suppose, in terms of managerial recruitment. I would have preferred them go for a manager who, again, was a little bit more progressive in terms of style of play. I just feel Nottingham Forest were on the cusp of actually becoming that really attractive team again. The team that is befitting of their European pedigree. And I think under Sean Dyche, I just think they're going backwards. It's their 4th loss on the bounce. Obviously, the loss to Aston Villa at the weekend. Are they where we expect them to be? Not for me. I expected them to be up there knocking about again in the top 8 for sure after last season. The only thing that could have impacted that was obviously their inclusion in European football now. Would the squad have been able to manage, both top schedules? I would have had them in top 8. Looking at what they did last season, I was expecting them to push on under Nuno. So I'm saying beginning of the season, exactly. They currently find themselves just above the relegation zone in 17th place. And they could well yet be drawn into that. Well, they're in the battle. They're only 4 points ahead of West Ham United. And it's only because West Ham United are so poor, along with Burnley and Wolves, that you've probably got some comfort for Forest that they may well survive. But they shouldn't be where they are there now after the season they had last season. I don't think they'd be there now if Nuno was still there.
But why is Nuno not there?
Because of Shug Marinakis. I got it in. Yo, Dion, I smashed it. Yo, Dion, I smashed it, and Wayne set me up, man. Why is he not there? Yo, we knocked this one out of the park. Yeah, because of Shug Maranakis. Sorry, guys, again, personal joke, inside joke. Wayne's brother, man, he just said this. He mentioned this one. I don't even remember what he said, but he just mentioned Shug Maranakis, and we were like, yeah, no, that one. I said, me and Wayne are gonna race to see who can get that one out first.
You lined it up nicely, don't it?
You lined it up nicely, nicely. That's some Kenny Dalglish, Ian Rush business, man. So for me, I was really liking Forest under Nuno. Now, if they went down, I'd be quite happy. No, I think the owner needs some medicine. No, he needs medicine for what he did to Nuno.
I think he's getting his medicine. I would. My personal preference is for the three that are in the bottom three to go.
I know that's your personal preference. However,
because I like you're talking about Nottingham Forest, I think West Ham United have been absolutely abysmal, and they deserve to go down.
Yeah, but they haven't treated their manager that got them into Europe like an absolute.
Didn't they, David Moyes?
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Fair enough.
You get what you know? What I mean, like karma's at
karma. That's what I'm saying. And teams don't learn. You look at another team do it, and then you go and do it, and you think you're gonna escape karma. Yo, you can't run that fast, bro. You cannot run that fast. Anyhow, yeah, Villa doing really well. Forest woefully underperforming. So that's probably the first thing we've spoken about. Actually,
I think the thing that really disappointed me about Forest is you've got Elliot Anderson in there, you've got Morgan Gibbs-White in there, you've got, is it Milekovic, the centre half, and Murillo?
Yeah.
And these were key standout players from the last season, and they just look devoid of ideas, devoid of actions. I know they'll say tactically Unai Emery's game plan set up. No, Unai Emery's game plan against Forest.
Oh, sorry, the weekend.
Isolated Elliot Anderson. He wasn't able to link him with Morgan Gibbs-White, even though Morgan Gibbs-White did score a good goal on the break where he was showing that he's running off the ball. Can I ask a question, though?
Go on. Did Unai also manage Everton, Man City and Fulham when they beat Forest? Because I don't know if this is a Unai masterclass. I think it's more a Forest disaster class. Personally.
If you look at... No.
Yeah. I saw you dig into the depths there.
No.
We can't.
No. You know what? Like it was watching Forest play in that game, and then remembering them coming to Villa Park under Nuno. It was like night and day.
Exactly.
I'm like, hold on. What happened to the control over the game? What happened to the two centre halves dominating and doing what they do best? Because Dad, oh gosh, I can't pronounce his name. Aina. And he's been out for a long time. I'm thinking, good. You know, Nico Williams, Aina. They've played with each other.
And they're good going forward.
The goalkeeper, I won't even go into about the goalkeeper, because I don't know what he was doing.
Did he go off the field crying or something at the end of the game?
Didn't you see what he did against John McGinn for the third goal?
No.
So...
Oh, he came all the way out. All I remember was John McGinn was hitting in from like 30 yards into an empty net or something.
Yeah, and then he went down crying and then came off.
Wow.
And then Matt Sells went on.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Wow.
Even that, Matt Sells. Matt Sells was their solid goalkeeper from last season, and you've dropped him. I don't get it.
Hence why I believe Sean Dyche was the absolute wrong appointment at that point of Forest progression.
Right,
I don't know. Maybe I don't know the manager's name that would have been the right one. But again, if they had their ish together, then they would have had a successor before they got rid of Nuno. And I think Sean Dyche was just...
I think Graham Potter would have been a nice fit.
Graham Potter even, I think at least he would have had more... His style is more aligned to what they already had there in the squad and the players they had, the personnel. So yeah, really, really disappointing to see them flounder like that. Anyway, what we got? 8 minutes. Let's quickly talk about Arsenal, who are obviously the league leaders. Spoke about Villa, spoke about Man City. Let's talk about Arsenal. It was Bournemouth 2, Arsenal 3. Gabriel, absolute howler to allow Bournemouth to score the first goal, trying to pass the ball across. Isn't it one of the cardinal sins of football, passing the ball across your goal mouth, right? And then...
But who to?
Well, I'm assuming he was trying to go towards Saliba, but Saliba was about 30 yards further away than that ball was ever going to reach.
But the thing is, though, Saliba is rapid.
Yeah.
So... in most situations, Saliba's going to get there to recover. But you didn't give him a chance.
He wasn't even in the screenshot. just went to Evan Nielsen. You're like, where was he trying to pass to? It's only when Evan Nielsen scores you see Saliba. Oh, he's there. And then obviously Raya had come kind of short as well to make the angle to have a simple pass back. So by the time the ball goes to Evan Nielsen, the goal's also just empty. Yeah. So yeah, the easiest goal Evan Nielsen will score in the Premier League, I guarantee you. Gabriel was able to retrieve himself. I was going to say relieve himself, but that doesn't sound right, even though this time of night. He was able to retrieve himself, I think the term is. Anyway, I don't want to get myself into trouble.
I'll leave you there.
Leave me, yeah. Leave me high and dry. Thanks, Wayne. It was good work by your guy, Madueke down the right-hand side. I mean, he just looks like Saka Mark II, to be honest with you, when he starts skipping past players.
No, but he's got a step over and he manipulates the ball. But I don't think Saka does that.
But it's the same result that he gets to that byline, and he can get within 2 yards of your near post. And then he's looking to cut back somebody, but that's what I'm just talking about in terms of the effectiveness. It's not necessarily the skill set, but the fact that he can take a player outside, inside. He's quality player, man. Ball goes into the box. I think it's Gabriel Martinelli who has the first shot blocked, comes out to Gabriel, fires home, so he's able to obviously make up for his error. Then Declan Rice gets himself a brace, obviously, and then your man Krupi, who I know you've spoken about previously. What a strike to get that in. And he's only on the field for about a couple of minutes as well, I think, coming off the bench. Arsenal are doing what champions do. I am really at pains to say they are relentless at the moment. They are getting results when it looks like the result might be slipping away from them, and then they're finding another level, another gear to go to in order to get that goal. I think a lot of goals over the Christmas period were own goals, to be fair, though. I think it was scored in favour of Arsenal. But, pressure does bust pipe, as they say in Trinidad. And, if someone's scoring an own goal, it's because they're under pressure. Do you know what I'm saying? I just think the writing's on the wall. I've made my peace with it now. I'll start congratulating Arsenal fans in the sarcastic way that I do, in January. So when they do win the league, I'll just say, I already congratulate you, so what's the problem? Not that I'm trying to put juju on it. What's your view on Arsenal currently, halfway through the season? Are they exceeding your expectation? Are they where they should be?
Arsenal have been consistent underachievers for so long now. I mean, there was a season where you'd expect them to win it, but they didn't. I think it was it the season?
It was the second, was it the season when Liverpool won it? I think it was the season when Liverpool won it. I think the season before that, everyone thought they'd pick Man City and then they bottled it. Yeah. And then Liverpool season, it was like, this has to be Arsenal season now. It's the third season that they're competing. Yeah. Then Liverpool. But then Liverpool won it. Current Premier League champion. Sorry, carry on. Current Premier League, current.
Anyway.
Current.
Anyway.
Yeah, current.
But the squad that Arteta has amassed at Arsenal.
Yeah.
I do think this is the strongest Arsenal squad going into this part of the season.
Probably the strongest squad in the league at the moment.
Yeah, I think Gabriel and Saliba are fantastic. And without them, normally they'd slip and they'd fall, but they haven't. You know what I mean? They still managed to grind out the results.
Because of the recruitment again. When you look at that, is it
Hanipe?
Yeah, Hinipe and also the other one I was thinking of, Mosquera.
He's out injured at the moment.
Yeah. But when they've come in, though, they've just looked like they've been there for years.
Timber.
I mean, it's just solid,
like solid. Ben White, who? You know what I mean? And
well, he said he didn't like playing football, so you got your wish, bro.
But for me, the standout player for me has got to be Declan Rice. Everybody talks about Odegaard. Everyone talks about Saka. You know what I mean? Martinelli has good games. I think Trossard and Rice are the kind of Arsenal go-to.
Rice is the consistent leader kind of figure, in the squad. Consistent. Every game is at 8 out of 10 minimum. And as you say, Trossard's starting to get his flowers a little bit more, I think, probably, because he's
got his
forcing...
flowers from me from when he went.
Well, from us, we've been speaking about him from day, saying that whenever he comes on, he seems to score, and that's when he was on the bench a lot last season. So the fact that he's getting more starts now, just quality player as well.
Still not smiling.
I just need to smile. He scores goals, man. He scores goals, and then obviously you've got that backup, as you say, for Odegaard and the left wing in terms of Eberechi Eze, who's
What's happened to him?
Well, he's on the bench at the moment. But to be fair, he started his Arsenal career very well. So there's no need to just thrash him out when you've got that squad depth.
I haven't seen him really start or play since Matty Cash got behind him for the goal that they conceded.
Oh really?
Villa.
Yeah.
And now they're getting their players back. I worry.
What, that he won't get game time? He'll get game time. Look, the amount of games they're playing, man, and that's the thing. What they don't want is Odegaard getting injured again. So they're going to make sure that they, manage Odegaard's game time, I think. And they've got the ability.
Are they managing his game time? Because I don't see him coming off.
But it's in the last, month. He's probably just starting to get the rhythm in his legs again after a long layoff. If you look at what they've done with Saka, Madueke started on the weekend, didn't he? So I think they'll do the same with Odegaard. The fact that they've got that quality there now, that they can switch players out and they don't lose a lot of quality, it's a great place for them to be. Do you know what I mean? Did you expect them to be this consistent by halfway through the season?
I always expect a drop-off from Arsenal going from December into January.
Mine is February usually. March is...
But when I say drop-off, it starts then and it continues into that.
Yeah, it's true. It's February when they usually start dropping out the competitions. Yeah, you're right.
But it's January, the 5th? January the 5th now.
Yeah.
And they're still there and maintaining.
And looking pretty...
looking pretty solid. And then Gabriel, he's just come back.
Yeah.
And then he's scoring Did you see his goal?
The weekend? No, he didn't score the weekend. Against Villa, yes, I did. Yeah.
I belong to Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then Kai Havertz is to come back.
Yeah.
You know what? If they don't do it this season, Arsenal fans better turn me down because I'm coming for the whole lot of them. But on a real thing, I do think they'll do it this season.
Yeah, I think they'll do it this season. And Arsenal fans are used to disappearing when their team flop anyway, so it's just par for the course, man. It's 11:30, guys. Let's go for a quick break. We'll see you on the other side.
You're listening to Birmingham's Big Community FM, New Style Radio.
It's the bomb. Broadcasting across the city on 98.7 FM. New Style Radio.
Welcome back to newstyleradio.com and Breakthrough TV on YouTube. If you want to see us live in the studio, what's good, people who are on Breakthrough TV live in the studio? Good to see you. What we got? 25 minutes and we got about 20 games to get through. So let's see what we can do. Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. So I'm watching the game yesterday in a pub in London. I'd tried to actually get access to the game to cover it for the paper, but I applied too late. Fulham go 1-0 up. Great strike from Harry Wilson. A strike that you expect him to score on his left foot.
Was it it looked like...
Yeah, VAR, I'm going to say VAR checked it. He was actually onside. Van Dijk was putting him onside in the centre of the park, I think, Great strike across Alisson, 1-0. Wirtz then scores. That then goes to VAR because it's suspected offside. Now I've seen two different views on it. One is the VAR check that we saw the camera angle. Another one is another frame, maybe a frame or two later, where the ball is actually leaving Bradley's foot. And at that point, it looks like he's offside. So the question again is, because if you kick the ball, Wayne, let's say a pass that you do maybe, rather than an actual snap pass, you actually push your foot through the ball. At which point is offside? Is it at your first point of contact to the ball? Is it at the point of the ball leaving your foot? Because
I think it's when it leaves your when it's played forward, but it's so ambiguous.
Yeah,
is that when you contact the ball?
That's my point. When it leaves your foot? When it leaves your foot, because sometimes
I don't.
And this is the the finite detail that people are now starting to actually what's the word? They're starting to actually analyse, because that's what I saw, that second one where people said, look, he's offside when the ball is actually leaving his foot. But the kicking action, where the first contact is, he was onside. So, yeah, it's starting to get a little bit silly now for me, to be honest with you. But anyway, that's the world we're in. Still a great finish from Wirtz. Good to see him get his second goal for the club. Hopefully, that confidence is starting to seep into his game. And then, did you see the Cody Gakpo goal?
Yeah.
Was that cross from Frimpong? Trent-esque or what?
You know what? Frimpong's been doing a job down there on the right wing, man. He just looks at it. He just looks on it. He's lost a bit of time in terms of getting on the pitch and doing it. And now he's like, you know what? I'm making up for lost time.
I need to show what I'm here for, exactly. Yeah. Bruv, for me, he was one of my favourite signings because of his enthusiasm. Yeah. Just because he's a character as well. He's just one of those guys you want to have around the dressing room. But as you rightly say, coming from Trent Alexander-Arnold, who sometimes looked like he didn't really want to defend, like he thought he was too good to defend and get his pants dirty. You got in Frimpong now, someone who is just at it. He'll always be round your heels, defensively, he's always there. So really glad to see him. I mean, that's his second or third assist in the last 4 or 5 games.
Did he play on the wing or did he play right back?
He played on the wing when he came on, I believe. He came on a right wing, which I actually prefer starting from right back, but needs must because we're a bit short on bodies at the moment at the top of the field. So yeah, good to see him get that assist. Great finish. Well, great finish. We kind of need it into the goal by Cody Gakpo.
Kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Fight it.
94th minute. I'm giving it fist pumps in the pub. I'm saying, yes, 3 points, yes, whoa. And I'm on the phone having a conversation at the same time, right? Because I'm thinking, light work. And then I look up and I just see a ball flying into the top corner of the net. And I'm like, is this a replay? No, when did we score that, or when did they score that? What's going on? Harrison Reed has scored 4 goals for Fulham since he got there in 2020. Yeah? So he scored 1 goal per year. He skipped last year, 2025, and now he's got his goal for this year, which is a 30-odd yarder screamer into postage stamp territory in the goal. Yeah. My issue is, if you saw the goal, there is nobody within 10, 15 yards of him when he picks up that ball. Arne Slot in the press conference suggested that they had set up for the long throw. Personally, I wouldn't have admitted that story. I wouldn't have admitted it, Arnie. I wouldn't have admitted it. They set up for the long throw, so they had everybody back in the 6-yard box pretty much to defend this long throw. They throw short, 1 pass out to Harrison Reed, who steps onto it, and he's got the freedom of Craven Cottage. It's unbelievable.
Why would you put 11 players to defend a long throw?
There's not 11 Fulham players there because you got 3 of them. The one that took the throw, the one who was there for the short, and Harrison Reed. What? I don't get it, bruv. There's some really simple fundamentals here that I just think Arne Slot is missing at the moment. I'm not sure if he's trying to overcomplicate things or what. I don't know. Big up Fulham, well done. They stuck in, they hung in. There was by no means a backs to the wall performance either. Liverpool had their inevitable, swathes of possession without doing much with it. And Fulham, were clinical in taking their chances. So,
did you see the meme when Iwobi's telling the other 2 players?
Afcon. Lord.
That Reed scored, and they're like,
Really, exactly. Screwing. Are Liverpool where we expected them to be? No. I think we expected Liverpool to be. I think most people expected Liverpool.
With the signings that you did at the beginning of the season, you're expecting Liverpool to be up there challenging in the
of course you do. Race. I think when we got the Isaac deal over the line, a lot of people were writing off the league as a competition this season, which I think is obviously a little bit much. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, we definitely should be higher than where we are, and we should be close to ours. We should not be 14 points off. We shouldn't be 14 points off top place.
You shouldn't be 8 points off third either.
You're not wrong, but we said third is, you guys are overexceeding your expectations for the season, right? So you're overexceeding, we're underexceeding, but underperforming.
We haven't spent what you spent.
Doesn't matter. That's why we're saying you're overexceeding. Bruv,
let it go. Who's overexceeded?
Let it go, man. Let it go.
Unai over the 3 years has improved season.
Nobody expected Villa to be 3 points behind Arsenal and then get spanked 4-1 when they could have gone joint top. That's what I'm saying. Anyhow, we've spoken enough about Villa.
Anyway,
yeah, so you and Shannon were laughing at the beginning of the show before we went live about obviously Amorim getting sacked and then Slot's next, we were saying, right?
Yeah.
Slot takes Liverpool down to the Emirates this week on Thursday. I think on current form, nobody is probably expecting Liverpool to go there and win. Mm-hmm. So my question is, if they go there and lose the game, does that put his job in jeopardy?
I think it depends on the manner of the loss.
The manner of the loss, thank you very much.
I think going to Arsenal, down to the Emirates and playing Arsenal down there now, it's a different beast. Like before, they gave people hope. They gave people a kind of sighting that you can come down there and get us. We can drop points here, but that's not this Arsenal team.
No,
you know what I mean. So I expect them to give you a good spanking. When I say spanking, I don't mean by score. I just
but
mean
just a dominant
performance,
like Man City did to us when we went to the Etihad. Yeah, I kind of agree. But ultimately, as you say, it's the manner of the loss. But I think even if we go there and get 4 or 5 put past us, I can't see them sacking him off the back of that result against a team that's clearly flying high.
Let's put realistic heads on. Unless he comes out and says something horrific about Liverpool. And
I'm the manager. I came here to be the manager and not the coach, as some like to suggest.
And disrespects the people of Liverpool. He's not going to get sacked.
I don't think he will. Not yet. Not yet. No. But I do think.
I know there's some Liverpool fans that are baying for blood now.
Yeah, but a lot of those Liverpool fans are, I'd just say, be careful what you read online. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, but for me, it's a case of. You're not doing that badly. Yes, you haven't had a great start. Yes, you've got these players in. Isak, is he out for the season now?
No, I think it was a couple of months, but by the time he comes back and does his rehab, then the season's pretty much done.
It's Vertis first, you know what I mean?
This is the transitional season that everyone expected last season, for real.
If you had this season last season, nobody would be saying anything.
Correct.
It's only because you won it last season.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
My only issue is that what we're seeing now and the issues we're seeing now has been there all season, and I put it down personally to tactics. There are things that we're doing and not doing that is clearly something that that's been drilled into the team. When you're getting players getting the ball wide and they don't put the cross and instead they come back into the midfielder, inside them, and then it goes across the pitch to the other side, and all of that for me, it feels like it's like over-engineering, it's over-engineering the team. I think there's natural attributes in the team that could really hurt teams when we play them. And I think we are nullifying our own natural attributes for Slot's insistence on possession football. And that's a bit frustrating for me.
Yeah.
We've got to move on because we've got lots to talk about. Fulham. Yeah, Fulham are a bit of a mixed bag, aren't they? Along with Brighton, who are, funnily enough, just above them. They're a bit of a mixed bag. They can turn up one day and, give a team a really good game. Another day they can go and lose to, to Burnley, for example, even though they didn't lose to Burnley. Burnley gave them a good game, though. I remember watching that game, actually. So, a bit of a mixed bag. I think, 11th place, pretty much bang middle of the table is where you kind of expect Fulham to be now, right? So, so big up Fulham for getting their hard-earned point. Wolves 3, West Ham 0. Don't think many people saw that coming. As bad as West Ham are, Wolves have been just as bad. I probably would have gone for either a 1-0 own goal or a 0-0 maybe.
But what I would say is that I think we've spoken about Wolves and the performances on the Roberts. They've been unlucky.
Yes.
And they've played the top teams.
I was just about to say that. The last 4 or 5 games, they've only lost games by the odd goal.
Yeah, and they've been in those games, and it's a lack of quality in the final third that's cost them. Right.
Now so the note that I made, the goal scorers, John Arias, who they bought in from Brazil, Mateus Mane, who got the 3rd goal, but he was actually involved in the previous 2 goals as well. And he's a youngster that's come through.
Rochdale.
He came from Rochdale, yeah. What is he, 19 or 17? I can't remember how old he is.
18.
Is he 18, yeah?
18.
And who was the other one that scored? Wang. Hwang Hee-chan. Yeah, Hwang Hee-chan. Now, I look at those 3 players. None of them have had regular game time at Wolves this season.
Nope.
When we had the Rob Edwards chat in the studio, you said, which one of those players do you think look like Premier League quality players? And I think in those 3 players, you have Premier League quality players.
That's a big shout.
They're Premier League quality. The issue is none of them have had a run in the team to get a rhythm going. Yeah, Mane, you didn't expect anyway because he was a youngster.
He's come from the academy.
That's what I'm saying, but he's come through because of injuries or because of a lack of bodies in that position. So he's come on, played a couple of games, last 10, 15 minutes.
Did you see him against Man United? He was absolutely phenomenal. He came off the bench against Man United.
Yeah.
You're like, who is this guy?
So I saw him in the game against, who was it? Was it Brighton that came to Wolves and beat them 2-0? Might have been Brighton, yeah. And that's when I first saw him for myself come off the bench. Looked like he was a little bit erratic, probably trying too hard to impress. But you could see that he had some ability about him. So, again, if it's not Rob Edwards there, does the manager, the one that was there before, what was his name?
Old Porto manager.
Yeah.
I know he's.
You know what I mean? If he's still there, does Mane get the opportunity? Now, and the reason why I say that, and that's why I mentioned those three players, sometimes managers who are in a position where Wolves are now, they want to go for solid, functional players who are going to put in a shift, put their bodies on the line for the badge, this, that, the other. And I think they do that at the compromise of having some quality, some real quality at the top end of the pitch. Yeah. And what I liked about that team selection on the weekend was that Rob Edwards played three players that I don't think you would have seen playing in the same team with Vitor Pereira. That's his name, Vitor Pereira. Yeah, with Vitor Pereira in charge. You wouldn't have seen those three players in the same team. And I looked at that and I said, look at that. You've got three creative players all having a pivotal role in a 3-0 win against your relegation rival. I want to see more of that from Wolves. Give teams something to think about at the other end of the pitch.
Personally, I think, because he's on the hiding to nothing really, I don't think they're going to get out of it. I don't think, are they 7 points behind, 7 points from the team in 19th?
Yeah, I think it's 8 points, but yeah,
I'm sure it's more points than that from safety. I think there's 7 points adrift of the team that's in 19th.
That's 8 points.
8 points adrift of the team that's in 19th.
No, 6 points. Sorry, my bad. 6 points from Burnley. Yeah, 6 points.
Yeah. So, preparing for next season, you're going to build your team around players like Mane. Hang.
Yeah.
Is it Hang?
Hwang. Yeah.
Chances are he's going to go in the summer. So he's going to need to start performing to put himself in the shop window.
Why do you think he's going to go?
I don't see him going down to the Championship with them.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Arias.
Arias.
He's only come this season.
Correct. So he could get picked up as well, potentially.
Yeah.
If he shows himself this season. Yeah.
So for me, like, he knows. What I like to see is that he's gone there and he's taken it for all the right reasons. Admirable. Hats off to you and that. But you can see him looking at these players that are going to be doing something for him next season. Fair play to him.
But like you say, all three of those players could well be on their way though. Yeah. Realistically, right?
I can't see him going.
No.
The younger one. I can't see the 18-year-old. I can't see him go. He's only started.
I know.
2 games.
That's what I'm saying. I know. Yeah. But my point is, if between now and the end of the season he becomes a big shining light for Wolves going down, will they cash in on him? Bearing in mind they've got him for pennies.
Yeah.
Will they cash in on him? And, I wouldn't say no. I've heard Liverpool man start looking and say, like Matheus Mane, he's decent, isn't he? I've heard Liverpool man start looking at him as well. So what I'm saying is, there's a host of Premier League teams and those that will be promoted. They may be looking at, we'll get a little change for him. Yeah. They can come to us or whatever. So, be interesting to see. As for Nuno, starting to feel a bit like a dead man walking. I feel really sorry for him because really and truly, what he's picked up at West Ham is what he currently has. There is no guarantee of instant success when a new manager comes in and all of a sudden, what we're seeing at West Ham is what we've seen since, as you mentioned earlier, David Moyes left. It's just a bit of a,
He hasn't helped himself in some things in terms of putting right-footed right backs, playing them their senior game, like young academy players coming into the first team right backs, playing them left back on the wrong side, and then getting twisted on the right side.
Did it. Playing.
Where's happening there? You know what I mean? But I just think that, and the West Ham fan base seem to have turned on him. I think there's something else in the water with that. I don't just think it's Nuno. I'm just not a big fan of.
Yeah, you asked about Wolves, where are their world-class players or where are their, Premier League players even, right?
Yeah.
I'd ask that about West Ham. We know Jared Bowen, got it.
If they go down, he's gone.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, again, Premier League quality for me. Then I'm struggling. Paqueta is Premier League quality when he wants to play. I don't know if he's got the heart. I don't think his heart's in West Ham anymore. I think he knows West Ham are probably, whether they get relegated or not, I think he's just thinking about his next move already. And, you know, regardless of whether he plays well or not for the rest of the season, there's teams out there that know what his quality is already. Yeah. So for me, I look at that West Ham squad at the moment and I just say, where does the inspiration come from? There's full Krug left. I saw him making
He's on AC Milan.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I watch him go there and bang. You know, there's just certain... Yeah.
But they let Mikel Antonio go on a free transfer?
They have bought a couple of strikers in, sorry. I've seen them buy a couple of strikers. There was one that was on the bench
Porto?
Yesterday.
One from Porto, one from Brazil?
Yeah, that's right. Who are they?
I think one of them scored one goal.
But at least they're trying to address the situation that we know.
Are they Nuno signing or are they...
That's a really good question.
You know what I mean?
That we don't know. Exactly, that we don't know. So
because Nuno in his presser, he was talking about needing some support because there isn't a squad there.
Yeah, he's bare, you know. So you could say he's being backed. Do you know what I mean?
Is he though? This is West Ham. Like, do they back anybody?
No, but he's being backed in terms of the fact that they've actually gone out and bought in players rather than just let him squander with Jared Bowen playing all three positions up front every game. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's been done before. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, in terms of Wolves and West Ham, I mean the bottom three at the moment. We haven't spoke about Burnley yet, who got beaten 2-0 by Brighton.
There's not much to say about that.
Yeah, exactly that. That's why I didn't really go into it.
Remember last season? Oh yeah, they got a fantastic defence, but you haven't played the Premier League. Now you have, and now you're second from bottom.
Yeah.
What's the next game? Not being rude, but I've just
Really quickly before to the next game, though, West Ham, Burnley, Wolves. West Ham are 4 points off safety from Nottingham Forest. Burnley are 2 points behind, and then you've got Wolves that are 6 points behind Burnley.
I think those four are
it feels like
because who's above Forest?
Leeds.
And how many points have they got?
They got 22, but Leeds look like
they're starting to pull away now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And like they've got. What you need is a goal scorer.
Yes.
And you need to stop conceding and you need to score goals.
Correct.
Calvin Lewin, we know he's a Premier League goal scorer, and they've managed to get him fit
and get him firing again.
Well, get him out of the treatment table, get him on the pitch, and play the balls into the box that make him an absolute menace.
Correct. Simple strategy. Let's move on very quickly. Spurs 1, Sunderland 1. Spurs having to rely on Ben Davies to score goals now. Exactly.
Get off. Give me some.
Ben Davies putting them ahead with Sunderland equalising through Broby. What a goal. Do you see the Broby goal?
Yeah.
Nice little 1-2 and then there's
I like Broby.
Fire.
I like Broby.
I've got to be honest with you. I looked at him in that game and I did say to myself, there's going to be teams probably, you know, vulture circling for him, you know, come next season.
Yeah. Villa were linked with him last season because we played. Where did he come from? I can't remember.
From Holland, isn't it?
Was it Club Brugge or I can't remember which club he was at. I can't remember what club he was at.
Yeah.
No, Brian Bomby. No, he came from Ajax.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking of another striker.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm watching him and I'm thinking, there's something about him. He's big, he's strong.
He's mobile.
Yeah, but the thing is though, he's got technique.
Well, the goal that he scored, I thought was a George Weah finish. Do you know what I'm saying? He didn't have to. It's like, God, man, he didn't have to do it like that. You just slid it in. Newcastle 2, Crystal Palace 0. Couple of goals there. Obviously, Captain Bruno Guimaraes getting on the score sheet with the opener. And then it was Thiaw who scored Newcastle's second. Palace have hit a little bit of a wall recently as well.
Muniz out.
Yeah.
Ismail Assar out. Mateta playing with a knee injury.
Yeah.
Who's the Chris Richards?
He just got injured just the other day. Yeah, Chris Richards. That's right. Yeah.
You know, talking about not always going back to Villa, but you know, talking about Villa's squad being paper thin.
Yeah, correct.
As soon as you start taking these players out,
that's the effect. Exactly that. Yeah, spot on, yeah. So a bit difficult for them, and also they're juggling European football as well. So yeah. A little bit frustrating, I'm sure, for Palace fans. You got Everton, who went down 4-2 against Brentford. So that was the Igor Thiago hat-trick we were speaking about earlier on. What I liked, both Beto and Barry getting on the score sheet. That's the first. Firstly, so Barry I think has got a couple now, so he looks like he's probably starting to find his feet. But what I liked about the Barry goal was Jack Grealish doing Jack Grealish things in the box, going past players, mesmerising players with his quick feet.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's the Jack Grealish we want to see. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was nice to see him. Don't know what he's doing on the right, but yeah, it was nice to see him contribute again. But that was a 4-2 victory for Brentford. Sorry, let's talk about Brentford. Because where we expected Brentford to be and where they are now, that's night and day. Brentford currently sitting in... Where are they? I can't even find them, they're so high. 7th place in behind Manchester United. Do you remember how concerned we were for Keith Andrews at the beginning of the season? 7th place behind Manchester United.
I'm still concerned for them.
7th place.
They've done fantastically well, and he's actually outperforming Thomas Frank.
7th place.
Flowers, you know what I mean? Give him his flowers. They're doing fantastic.
For a set-piece coach, was it a throw-in coach?
Is it a set-piece coach?
Yeah, set-piece coach. That, for me, that's got to be, for me, when we talk about, manager of the season candidates, he's got to be up there, man.
Because if he can keep it up till the end of the season.
For me personally, I mean...
If the season ended now...
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd have to be. Because, just simply because of the fact that we talked about, obviously, all the players they lost. They lost their full front, well, pretty much their full front three in Wissa and Buemo.
Nordgaard, the captain.
Nordgaard, who went to Arsenal as well, exactly. And then you've got this manager coming, and obviously they lost the manager, Thomas Frank. Then you've got a manager coming in who's got no managerial experience prior. And they're 7th in the Premier League, when I think that's huge.
It is huge.
I
hope they can keep it up until the end.
I don't think he's getting talked about enough.
People are starting to talk about him.
I'm not hearing it.
But, everyone's waiting for the bubble to burst kind of thing.
But 20 games in now, they've played everybody once.
Yeah,
and they're 7th in the Premier League. So, yeah, round of applause for Keith Andrews.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Because we really thought you'd be getting your P45 by November, and you've made us all look a bit silly. So, well done to you, sir. Huh?
The only person I'd say would go quicker than him was Amarin. Even Amarin didn't go quicker than him.
Maresca took it for real. Maresca took it. Very quickly, we've got 1 minute left. Is Arne Slot's job at risk?
Arne Slot?
Yeah.
Not in the next game, but if form doesn't pick up by the end of the season, I would say yeah.
By the end, so do you think he'll get the end of the season as a minimum?
I think he will. I think it's the decent thing to do. And Liverpool aren't a club that just sack their manager, knee-jerk reaction, sacking their manager. I don't think you do.
No, exactly.
He won the league for you last season. Yeah. He's got a good squad.
Yeah. Weird, I'm not one to call for a manager to be sacked. I just have a concern that in a manager at a top 4 club, the Premier League champions, that I haven't seen a change in approach in order to try and stop the rot. Feels like it's the same thing over and over again. And then he blames, because they took a free kick. Because they had a long throw. Because I thought they were going to do a long throw and they didn't do a long throw. These sound bites for me starts to make me feel like there's a bit of desperation there.
Wally with the brolly type thing.
Wally with the brolly. Do you know what you're doing? Do you know what the solutions are? Because everything that I've heard has been very much around, they came and parked the bus. What do you expect? You're the Premier League champions at home, and they're in 18th place. Did you expect them to come out and play, 4 up front? Do you understand? Yeah. You know that's going to happen. We knew it, so you must have known it. And if you didn't work for that all week leading up to that game, then what are you doing? So that's my concern. Just that I liked managers like Mourinho, like Jurgen, like Pep, who, when something isn't working, it could be 20 minutes into the game, they'll say, it's not working, change that. But go to a back 4, this person into the hole, and you can see they're proactive. Arne Slot's throwing on 3 subs on 61 minutes. That's when we're 0-0 against Leeds at Anfield. That tells me something isn't right there. You don't know actually what you need to do in order to solve that conundrum. That's my concern. But anyway, I'll hold my mouth. It's been a pleasure, Wayne. Once again, talking football with you. Even though you keep giving me jip about Villa and Liverpool. Just remember, I didn't give you that jip last season when we were lifting trophies.
Hold on. Let's go back to the clips, yeah? Anyway.
The time's run out, yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great week ahead. Wayne, who are you playing tomorrow? Tomorrow or Wednesday?
Crystal Palace in London.
In London?
On Wednesday.
That's going to be a difficult one, indeed.
I know, but have you noticed I've done my analysis of the game? I'm like, well, Nunes is out.
So you're hoping that comes to your fruition. Fair enough. Yes, we're gone. Later, people.
Hotep, my people.
Later.